Hey there, welcome to Fun Learn Talks, the podcast where we break down business, technology, and history into stories that sparks your mind and makes you smarter. I'm Anu, and we explore ideas that shaped the world from empires and entrepreneurs to code and culture. If you love connecting dots and asking why things are the way they are, you're in the right place. Let's get started with today's story. Let's imagine ourselves back in 17th century Spain. The cocoa drink, whether mixed with maize or corn the Mexican way, didn't quite hit the mark, seen as heavy and coarse. Picture a Spanish writer from the time, Josephus Acosta, turning his nose up at this chocolatey concoction, calling it loathsome, and disliking the frothy top that today we might find delightful. Now, switch to the high seas, where English and Dutch pirates are tossing these curious cocoa beans overboard in disgust, clueless of their value. What a stark contrast from today's love affair with chocolate, right? And then, by the mid 1600s, the cocoa bean began seeping into European culture, first appearing in a cozy English coffee house as noted in an advertisement dated June 22, 1657. Chocolate was a novelty, an excellent West India drink, available at any time at reasonable rates. Thinker, imagine Samuel Pepys, a famed diarist of the time, completely enamored by his first sips of chocolate, and then urgently craving another cup. By 60s too, Henry Stubbe, the royal physician, was praising chocolate's benefits in his writings, claiming it cured coughs, colds, and even exhaustion, recommending a dose twice a day for those worn out by daily toils. Fast forward to the end of the 17th century, when London's elite gathered at White's Chocolate House. Here, in this elegant setting, cocoa was evolving from just a simple drink into an ingredient that flavored everything from meat dishes to puddings. Over in Italy by 1794, chocolate was even being experimented with as a sorbet, preserved with layers of snow and salt, a very gourmet twist at the time. It turns out, while other Europeans struggled with refining their cocoa recipes, the French were perfecting the art, focusing on delectable desserts. Imagine walking into a Parisian shop and being greeted by an array of handcrafted sweets made from chocolate, mousses, cakes, and chocolate coated nuts that were beginning to build France's chocolatey reputation. As we keep moving through history, the cultivation of cocoa began spreading all over the Americas, from the slopes of the Andes in Ecuador to the vast territories of Venezuela and even into the Amazon rainforest of Brazil. Cocoa plantations sprung up across the Caribbean, and by 1802, Trinidad was officially under British reign, becoming a cocoa haven. Yet, by the mid 19th century, despite the burgeoning European fascination with cocoa, it remained a luxury for the well off. Richard Cadbury pointed out that cocoa's full potential was obscured by poor preparation methods, limiting its appeal. The Cadbury brothers knew there was more to this magical bean, and they were just at the brink of uncovering cocoa's true possibilities. Interesting, right? From being spurned by pirates to captivating the palates of royals and evolving into a culinary star across Europe, cocoa's journey is a vivid tale of transformation, taste, and temptation. Let's keep going, diving deeper into how this humble bean became the chocolate we cherish today. As we wrap up this chapter, we return to George and Richard Cadbury in the midst of their struggles, navigating the murky waters of a failing business. Despite their hardships, the Cadbury brothers did not let despair dictate their path, even as we've seen during the most challenging times when each item owned by Richard was listed for its potential auction value amidst a financially uncertain future for his growing family, their spirit and bond did not falter. It's a reminder that perseverance can often be found not in isolation, but in the shared strength between individuals facing adversity together. As we reflect on their story, let's consider the broader implications of their resolve and dedication. The notion that immediate success in a business is a blessing was, for George, a questionable belief. For him and Richard, their journey of continuous effort without immediate reward seemed to offer a different kind of fulfillment, one that underscored the richness of resilience and the depth of human connection in times of trial. This perspective is particularly thought provoking when considered against the backdrop of today's instant gratification culture. Perhaps there's invaluable wisdom in embracing the slow and often arduous path to achievement. Take a moment to contemplate the irony in their enjoyment of their work, despite or perhaps because of its challenges. The brothers went back to their endeavors with renewed vigor after each demoralizing stocktake, happier, as George noted, than most successful men. It wasn't just about making a living or turning a profit for these brothers, it was about fulfilling a higher purpose and forging a deeper connection with each other and their community. What George and Richard exhibited was a blend of commitment to their ethical values and a resilience that pushed them toward their larger goals, both personal and professional, rather than mere survival. Here's something concrete to consider from their story. The brothers faced a towering 304 loss each by Christmas 1862, a substantial sum at that time. Yet, they chose to focus not solely on their financial plight, but on their broader mission. For the Cadburys, grounded in their Quaker faith, their business was more than a means to financial ends. It was a vehicle for making a positive impact. This brings forth a deeper question for all of us. What drives our pursuits in life? Is it the immediate success and the accolades, or is it something more profound? Perhaps a heartfelt purpose or a commitment to a cause greater than ourselves. As we let these thoughts settle, consider how the Cadbury brothers, amidst financial turmoil and personal sacrifices, stayed true to their purpose and to each other, a testament to their character and values. Their story is not just about the resilience required to survive commercial failure, but about how our actions resonate with broader ethical and personal implications. The Cadburys, in their steadfast commitment to their principles and to each other, provide a compelling narrative on the power of integrity and persistence. So, what can we take away from all this? Perhaps it's the idea that the true measure of success isn't always found in profit margins or business expansions, but rather in the quieter, steadfast commitment to one's values and the collective well being of those around us. Looking at the darker times George and Richard endured, we are reminded not only of their eventual success in transforming the Cadbury business, but also of the enduring values that fueled their journey. Let's carry forward the legacy of viewing challenges as catalysts for growth and deeper connection, reinforcing the belief that sometimes the most challenging paths lead to the most rewarding destinations. That's it for today's episode on Fun Learn Talks, where stories from business, technology, and history keep your curiosity alive. If you enjoyed the journey, make sure to follow, rate, or share it with a fellow curious mind. And hey, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment or connect with us online. I'm Anu, and I'll catch you next time, right here on Fun Learn Talks. Until then, keep learning, keep wondering.